Welcome to this lecture. Today we are going to deal with these topics little quickly but in detailed approach. My name is Gunjan Subedi and as always I'll be guiding you in this topic with practical explanation and examples when necessary. Before starting, let me kindly remind you to subscribe to my Lean University, which is my initiative to deliver free and quality professional education to your screen.
Do you know that Toyota was still number 11's world's most valuable brands with 7th position in sales and 15th positions in profit in 2020? Other figures would even surprise you more, such as it was number 11th in global 2020 and it was ranked 8th top regarded companies in 2019. Wouldn't it be great to learn something from this giant corporation with such marvelous organizational structure and implement the idea in our own industry and business to grow our business? Well, one of the many tools that Toyota implemented as a measure of continuous improvement and root cause analysis is the A3 problem solving approach. At first instance, it may seem that as it was developed by the manufacturing automobile industry, it could have implications or use only for manufacturing or automobile industries. But let me give you a good news. It is one of the most valuable and widely used tool in any other business as well. I've seen it getting used in hospitals, I've seen it getting used in hotels and in IT field and many other business. So first of all, let's know what is the A3. A3 is a continuous improvement, structured, and a problem-solving approach. The A3 approach is based on the principles of PDCA or Plan, Do, Check, and Act cycle. It is actually named after the international paper size on which it fits. A3 refers to the standardized paper size of 11 inch by 17 inch. The size of the A3 is given on the right. Ford Motor Company created an 8.5 inch by 11 inch AD problem solving template. So this was the pioneer for the modern A3 document. So let's see where is A3 actually used. A3 is actually a communication document that helps us to communicate different things on identifying the problems and making improvements with problem clarifications, breaking down of the problem, setting a target to solve the problem, analyzing the root cause, developing the countermeasures, and seeing what countermeasures we really applied, and evaluate the results of the improved process, and then standardize the process. You will see that a lot of these points that is communicated by A3 problem solving approach or document is similar to the AD problem solving or AD root cause analysis approach. A3 thus summarizes all the improvements made to eliminate the problem in a user-friendly, communicable way. Let us see the A3 problem solving approach in a PDCA or Plan, Do, Check, and Act format. So basically the A3 document is divided into different sections: Plan, Do, Check, and Act. The first step in the plan phase is background screening and clarification of the problem. Before starting any project, you must have a clear picture of the problem under discussion. You should feel what the problem actually is so that you save your valuable time and resources that would otherwise be wasted when beating around the bush. The next step is current condition screening or the breakdown of the problem. In this stage, we address different questions like what is the size of the problem, and what are the component parts of the problem, and how much will I address the problem, etc. The third step is target conditioning or setting the target. The fourth step is the root cause and gap analysis. We generally perform the root cause analysis in this section. Tools used in this stage are 5 whys, cause and effect analysis, regression and correlation, and process capability analysis, and failure mode effect analysis. We can use one or all of these tools according to our need. The fifth stage is developing countermeasures and implementation plan. Some people also put this stage in the do phase. In this section, we deal with various countermeasures. This is purely a brainstorming session where we use the various tools for brainstorming. In the step 6, we implement the countermeasure plans. Out of all the brainstorm plans, we will select the most practical and effective countermeasures and create a clear and detailed action plan. In the check phase or in the step 7, we confirm the effect and monitor the results and the progress. In this stage, we learn to monitor the progress and report the findings to the stakeholders. We can use tools such as run charts and control charts in this stage. And finally, in the act phase or in the step 8, we standardize the results and follow up the actions. We set a new standard and start the next improvement process with the new subject after step number 8. You don't have to memorize any of these points because we will learn A3 analysis in depth with the help of templates in the next lectures. Thank you so much for being with me in this lecture. Welcome to the new lecture on the case study of the A3 problem solving. Now, as we come from different business sectors, it can be quite hard to come up with the common example. But to make it more holistic, I have taken an example which could address most of the manufacturing and service related problems. Let's suppose our project title is A3 analysis for the low sales of the product A in the first quarter of some year. Say it's the year 2021. We can even come up with our own title based on our industry. Let's come up with some examples of the title. If it's industry related, the title could be A3 analysis for the problem identification and improvement in the manufacture of some product. If it's business related, the title could be A3 analysis of sales of certain product in the first quarter. If it's service related, A3 analysis of a service extension for department X. The title could be anything for which we are thinking of making any improvements. Let me bring you to the left hand side where we write different sorts of information to make an improvement. It could be the information on the organizations and departments, team members and different stakeholders. Suppose we already have information for this. Let us fill the information in the plan phase of the A3 analysis. We will be following the PDCA format or the plan, do, check and act in filling up the information in the A3 analysis document. This PDCA cycle incorporates all the 8 stages of the A3 analysis. So in the plan phase of the A3, we have 5 steps. We have background screening and problem clarification. We have current condition screening and breaking down of the problem. And we set the target. We then analyze the root causes and develop the countermeasures in the plan phase. So basically, what you see here is we are planning about everything to find enough about the information of the problem. A good planning is everything in any improvement project. So let's recall our problem. For this, let's look into the title statement again. The title is A3 analysis for the low sales of the product A in the first quarter of the year 2021. Well, let's clarify the problem. This is the first stage where we can do the background screening or problem clarification. We should make sure that every people understand what is or what isn't within the scope of the A3 analysis or what is our problem. There are various approaches of the problem clarification. Let us use one of the important tools called is and is not analysis. So what is in the scope of our problem? The following A3 analysis reports talk about the root cause analysis and solving problems related to the low sales of the product A in the first quarter of the 2021 and sustaining the changes. So let us make the bulleted points of this one. Low sales of the product A and first quarter of 2021 are inside the scope of this A3 project. What isn't our scope? Our A3 analysis doesn't hold into account any other products, and only the first quarter of the year is taken for the improvement project. So with this, we make sure to our readers what exactly they are going to be gaining with this A3 report. Okay, we can also make the problem statement for the A3 analysis. We have learned in the problem statement lecture alone that in the problem statement we try to include the WH question words. We try to include the words like what is the problem that you are going to deal with, why is it important to solve the problem, when does this problem occur, where does this problem occur, and where does it affect, and who does the current problem affect the most. So let's elaborate the problem and make the problem statement. What is the problem we are going to deal with? Suppose the problem is about low sales of the product A. Why is it important to solve the problem? Because suppose it's the major product to generate the revenue. When does this problem occur? Well, this problem occurred in the first quarter of 2021. Where does this problem occur and who does it affect? This problem occurred in the sales niche in California, which is the major sales region for the product A, and it is affecting the entire company or entire sales. Who does the problem affect the most? Of course, the entire company. If we are sure, we can even include the word how does the problem occur. But this time we will not use this question. So based on the WH problem statement questions, let's write our problem statement with the A3 analysis. The purpose of this A3 analysis project or this document is to find out the factors involved in the low sales of the product A in the first quarter of 2021 in the California region, affecting the entire company, and finding the solutions and sustaining the improvements so that no such problems get repeated in the future. Isn't that a wonderful problem statement? Let's move on our second part of the plan phase of the A3 analysis, or the second step of the analysis, where we screen the current condition or we break down the problem. So what we can do in this section is present some graphs or figures or understand the present problem scenario. If you are from the manufacturing based business, you can even write a short current process flow chart if it's problem with the process flow, or a short representation of the SIPOC matrix diagram. As I am trying to make my A3 report simpler, I will just go with the bar diagram. So here I have sales data for the 4 quarters of 2020 and the first quarter of 2021, which shows clearly that the sales have declined. Now I can also denote it the other way. I can denote the percentage sales in the California region in the 5 quarters. The graph shows my sales have definitely decreased by more than 50% in the California region, mostly in the first quarter of 2021. So we have clarified the problem more by bringing up some pictures here. Let's head into the third stage, where we will set a target of the improvement we wish to achieve. Note that the target shouldn't be a random target. It should be SMART. Like we do the SMART goal, this should be the SMART target. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, tangible, and timely target. Let's set our target with the SMART acronym. This project is targeted to make an improvement in S, or let's be specific, sales of the product A in the California region, M or measurable by at least 50%, A or attainable considering all the improvement process, and R realistic target with time, job allocations and resources available to the team members mentioned in top of the A3 report. The team members would be listed around here at the top, and T till the end of April 2021. So we have made a SMART target, which is specific, measurable, attainable, realistic and timely. Let us move to the another section, or the root cause analysis or the gap analysis section. Came with our fishbone diagram for the causes of the problem. As this problem is non-manufacturing one, we can use the 8P or even the 5S fishbone for this case. For the manufacturing based problems, we can go with the 6M or 8M fishbone. Suppose we identified potential problems in procedures, policies, place, product, people, process, price and promotion. I'll enlarge this one. Suppose for the procedures, we found that the problems that our sales agents have to go through various procedures of quality check before the particular product, as it's a health supplement, so we have to wait for the state approval. For policy, the policy of the California, suppose we cannot sell the product as a health supplement in any medical journal. This is not the actual scenario, we are just supposing it here. For place, suppose our distribution center is out of the main city area, so people do not get to this place easily, so only online order or purchasing is available for now. For product, suppose the competitor came up with a similar product but with the bonus offer. For people, suppose our sales force have decreased from 10 people to 7 and 2 of them are newly recruited, so they haven't gone through the proper sales training also. For process, suppose we have no identified flaw with it and price of the competitor product is $5 less. So seems like there are obviously different factors accounting for low sales of the product, and definitely one or several of these could be responsible for the low sales. Sometimes the combination of all these factors are accountable for the low sales. If we have data or figure for the actual problem, we can even funnel down the problem using the Pareto analysis. In this case, I have just used the Pareto analysis. We know that Pareto analysis could be used to find the top 20% of the causes, but for this we need data. We apply the Pareto analysis when we know the sales figure. There are many other tools which we can use, but I cannot show them all here. We can use various other tools like 5 whys and cause and effect matrix according to our ease and need of the situation. Okay, that being said, let's move to the fifth stage of the A3 analysis, which is developing the countermeasures. For this, we have to brainstorm and look for the various other options. We can make the action plans with the list of necessary actions and mentioning the name of who is responsible for the action, when the action should be taken or finished, and what's the status of the action. Suppose some solutions are identified from the brainstorming session and the action plan is made and shown in the A3 analysis worksheet. So the responsible people and the target date and status are also given over here. So we have an action plan sheet now. This sheet is updated as the action progresses. The sixth step is implementing the countermeasures. This is the do phase of the PDCA or plan, do, check and act cycle. Now this is purely an action oriented process. You can update the final process diagram such as improved value stream maps. You can simply attach the pictures on this space. But for this particular example, I would just write what improvements we have made. The seventh stage is monitoring the results and progress. You can update the final process diagram such as improved value stream maps if you have improved your process in case of the manufacturing based business or any improved flowchart. You can include the control chart to show how your process has improved. For example, for the manufacturing based project, you can show how your defects has reduced. The whole reason of walking through this phase is just becoming sure that you have really made any profitable progress with the A3 project. You can include anything you have worked on. For instance, I have included here the improved process or the improved diagram on the sales. Having said that, we have reached the final part of the act phase. Act is where we have to sustain the process. We have to standardize the improved process. For example, in the manufacturing based projects, we can standardize the new specifications, or we can change the documents according to our improved plan, or we can give the new trainings or write how we should improve the training frequencies, etc. In our case, 3 sustained actions have been implemented. So with this, we have concluded the A3 improvement document. Having said that, there are also other parts of the document such as final signatures and group meetings after the A3 project is done to communicate the findings of the improvement project to all the stakeholders. I think this example was useful to you in finding out how A3 could be helpful, be it manufacturing or service based. If you haven't downloaded the template yet, I highly encourage you to download them from the resource section. thank you so much for being with me in this lecture.
Before ending this lecture, let me remind you to join my Lean University's premium membership and enjoy a total free access for limited time inside my Lean University's online library and get tons of free courses, free books and lecture topics on project management, Lean and Six Sigma, operations and supply chain, productive and preventive maintenance, quality maintenance, data science, industry and sales management, Agile and Scrum, Kaizen or continuous improvement, and much more totally free. No strings attached. As we have limited seats, only the early subscribers will be given open access inside the premium membership, and remember, it's totally free. Please subscribe and share the video if you share the common belief that professional education should be accessible to all.